Brian Michael Bendis, Ram V, David Marquez, and Zermanico bring the Justice League and Justice League Dark back in grand fashion as the new League battle a new yet familiar enemy, and the magician Merlin returns to the earthly plane to take what he is owed and usher Earth along to its destiny. Brian Michael Bendis begins a new Justice League arc with a team made up of some new additions and holdovers from Scott Snyder's time on the book. Not only does this issue do a great job setting up the story that will bring in some new characters like Naomi into the League's ranks, but also ties into some things we saw in Endless Winter and Future State, mainly things relating to Black Adam, who is beginning his journey to become more heroic, no doubt because he has a movie starring The Rock coming out very soon. I did like that it didn't feel forced on him either, and it's something that's been building for a very long while now, with little inclusions here and there, and have begun reshaping his worldview. Brian also working in Green Arrow into the book is fantastic, and I loved that he was the one to suggest that maybe they need some new people in the team and someone who doesn't run with the usual hero crowds that would be a good inclusion to break up the monotony of the group, who have the same views as each other for years. So I'm intrigued to see how that's going to actually play out with new inclusions like Black Adam, Hippolyta, and Naomi. Ram V meanwhile looks to also be continuing to build off some of the Future State Justice League Dark stories he was telling, with Merlin making a very violent and grand return to the DC universe, as John and Zatanna go on a fact-finding mission about some old prophecies that John knows about. I really enjoy the lore building Ram does in his books and stories, since they're always so grand and far-reaching and so interesting, half ingrained in real-world ancient mythology and other half classic comic book made-up stuff. It's a wonderful combination of the two, and how they can come together in this is just great. I'm looking forward to seeing how the progress towards the future glimpsed in Future State goes, and how the heroes will prevent Merlin from getting what he wants and taking all magic for himself. On the art side of things, you'd be hard pressed to find someone better suited for a Justice League book than David Marquez. His art is incredible, and all the anime inspired action in his story was great and was a delight on the eyes, especially thanks to his colorist Tamara Bonvillain's bright and warm colors covering every inch of the page. Zermanico's Justice League Dark was also really fantastic to look at and helped sell this long and grand scale story Ram V is telling. I enjoyed the variety of the art as well, as some of it was great traditional looking work, as well as some wonderfully painted flashback pieces that helped differentiate themselves from the other art and signal that this was a story being told to someone. Justice League issue 59 was a great return to the new set of stories within Infinite Frontier, setting up a new Justice League team with a new mission statement and villains to fight, as well as a great continuation on some of the magical plots seen in Future State, something I can't wait to see continued throughout Infinite Frontier and this book. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. Justice League issue 59 finds Green Arrow talking about how when people see the heroes, that they see icons and symbols, not actually the person, and he knows it's a perspective thing, since they are all the way above all of the people all the time. But he doesn't think that that's why the Justice League doesn't always work. Black Canary asks how he could say that, and Oliver thinks that that's why he sees Clark revealing himself as Superman as a good thing, since people like him now more and feel more relaxed around him because they can relate to him and be closer and understand him more. Canary asks what he's getting at, and Oliver thinks that maybe the people need to see there is more to them than just symbols. In Karndark, a boy mourns over the grave of his mother as Black Adam approaches him, learning the grave belongs to the boy's mother who died the year before. Adam says he's there to see his beloved as well, who passed on that day years prior, defending the nation with him. Adam says that she passed while trying to teach him some things that he still has yet to fully grasp. The boy offers Adam some candy he stole, but seeing that it's hard candy, Adam declines. Suddenly, the two are confronted by a giant demon-looking creature who says that coming through the portal definitely felt weird, wondering if they thought it was weird as well. Adam tells the boy to leave as he meets with the creature, telling it that he is Adam. The creature knows that they won't believe what he went through to get there, and he immediately finds Adam, wondering if he's this world's protector, noticing his symbol, asking what it means. Adam asks what the being wants there, and the being tells him that he definitely won't like the answer to that question. question. The villain attacks, exploding in a giant fireball with him and Adam caught in the middle. Adam tells him to go back to where he came from, as the being is impressed with Adam's power level, asking if he's the ruler of this world. The villain smashes Adam into the ground, throwing him into a temple as he asks how many people of his kind there are. Black Adam powers up with his lightning, telling the villain to leave this world or he will bring his power down on him. Superman and the Justice League arrive though, intending on taking over the battle as Batman tells the villain to identify himself. The villain tells the team to call him Brutus and everything is now his. Superman easily blows the villain away into the water, knowing for once Adam was on the right side of this. He asks Adam if Brutus said anything to him, but Adam says that he just showed up and struck him. Clark is quick to ask if he's okay, but Adam knows of course he is, but this invasion is far from over. Brutus rights himself before hitting the water, knowing that this place is perfect as a tidal wave full of sharks besieges him. Aquaman says he never usually uses the wall of sharks on a stranger, but this one tossed around Black Adam like it was nothing, so he's not taking any chances. Arthur drags the villain into the deep depths of the water, but Brutus unleashes a giant explosion, downing Aquaman, who falls deeper into the depths, allowing Brutus to escape to the surface. Almost immediately, the villain is smashed in the face by Hawkgirl's mace, who breaks one of his horns, forcing him back into the water where Aquaman beats him back out. Hawkgirl calls for Batman's backup as something happens to her nth metal mace, which begins reacting to the villain. Batman, Superman and Black Adam race to help their friend as Brutus asks what the battle stick is made out of. He suddenly realizes that he's ill prepared for this battle, opening another portal and calling for a pause in their battle, since he'll be right back and be better equipped. Batman tells Superman not to let him leave, but Superman can't get through the portal as it is shielded from him. The team regroup and talk about Hawkgirl's mace reacting to the villain as Batman conducts an environmental scan, since the creature isn't in their databases yet. Adam takes his leave, telling the League the people have been through enough and they need to leave. Batman knows that threat will be back as Aquaman asks who kicks Superman out of a country. As Batman suggests they all head back to the Hall of Justice to unpack all of this, Superman looks with his telescopic vision at Black Adam, finding the man hesitating to come back to them. He's brought back to himself as Batman tells Clark it's time to do the work. At the Hall of Justice, Batman tells the team that they know the nth metal reacts to magical materials, so maybe the invader is powered by some mystical power source. Barry wonders if there is any more Thanagarian databases to look at that could help shed some light on this, so Kendra says that she'll make some calls. Superman knows that the villain isn't from this earth or dimension, and now they've got to track down which one he is exactly from. Green Arrow and Black Canary soon join them, ending their talk on symbols and what the League should be, as Canary asks the League to save her from Oliver's rant about why they as a group are wasting every second doing not nearly enough. Batman tells her he won't, as Oliver says that he thinks they need to be doing more and helping more than they do. Superman agrees with his friend, asking him what he thinks they need to do. Oliver says that they have all known each other for a very long time, and sometimes in that case people begin seeing through a similar prism, so he's just getting some new voices in their ranks. Canary, however, says it's a real blessing that they have been able to come together in a circle of trust and camaraderie, and Aquaman agrees with her, seeing as they have each other to lean on for support. Oliver says that he just worries that they aren't delivering all they promise in justice for all, something Superman knows he thinks about all the time. Oliver says that when Superman agrees with him, nothing else matters, as Kellex finds a match for Brutus, saying his unique interdimensional signature matched with only one other thing in the United Planet's vast interstellar database, wondering if any of them remember Naomi McDuffie. Meanwhile, in Oregon, Naomi reveals her powers to her closest friends, some who wonder if this is just a magic trick. Naomi explains that her powers unlocked, and ever since then her life has been crazy, and she's not hiding herself as her friend begins streaming the reveal. Soon Black Adam arrives, wishing to have a word with the young hero. At the Augustus Priory ruins in Wales, the Night Watchman finds a being on the ruined grounds, telling him it's off limits, asking if he is lost. The being says he's definitely not lost, and he's been on the edge of reality and watched the cosmos shaped into things that they don't have names for yet, seeing newborn gods create worlds from thoughts and wandering through the hearts of dying stars. He says while he's been far from his home, he isn't lost and he is returned. The being activates some type of magical door, walking through it and into the remade halls of the priory. He is confronted by a group of demon guards, which with a simple gesture he turns to dust. He continues to walk into the inner sanctum of the building, descending the ancient stairs, feeling the thrumming of the magic growing closer as he arrives at a cavernous lake, where at the center a sword in the stone sits. He knows the sword's name is Caliburnus, and it has taken other names over the years. Watching over the sword is Sir Elnara Roshtu, the 13th Knight, who was charged with an eternal watch when all she wanted to do was go into combat and win the war with the others. The woman hears the man's steps, tears forming in her eyes as she bows before Merlin's return. In New Mexico, Zatanna and Constantine hitch a ride as Zatanna asks what they are doing there. John tells her that it's complicated, regaling her with the story of Ephrixus, who recorded prophecies he claimed came from a seraph. He says the prophecies say that at the end of the moon's cycle, the gift of heaven will be bestowed onto someone in Magdalena, and while the man was dismissed, a small cult began in his honor, thinking that he was right. John also explains that in 1994, a vocalist for a hard rock band sung 8 minutes of unplanned music all in ancient Sumerian, which translations say that an Earl of Hell shall bring a weapon to strike down false gods. John says that usually he wouldn't think that these are real, but both prophecies and the time and date given were all the same despite being centuries apart, so he was curious to see what would happen if he went there. Zatanna understands he can't resist sticking his nose in where it doesn't belong as they arrive at the farm in Magdalena. Zatanna wonders why they are hitchhiking though, since she could have just teleported them there. John says he thought about that, but they have all been roughed up since Diana's death, and he thought that this was a good chance to sit and talk about Zatara, since even Zatanna needs a little time in the middle of nowhere under the sky where they can still see the stars to talk. Joining hands, the couple walk on, and Zatanna thinks that maybe John might be mistaken for a romantic. Soon they come across the farmhouse, and it's on fire, with people fleeing all over the place and killing one another in a fervor. The heroes race to stop them, but Zatanna finds she cannot use her magic. John takes off his watch, saying he really liked this one as he covers it in his own blood, stomping on it. Doing so activates a time spell that stops time in its tracks. John has no idea what happened as hours prior, those seemingly false prophecies came true and the angel Oriphel came to give a gift from heaven as the demon Bifrons arrived as well, carrying a weapon of hell. Both the angel and demon went about combining their said weapons as the two cults of both prophecies arrived, seeing the angel's true form which blinded them into a heavenly fervor, and the demon's true form drove them mad, causing them to riot. Amidst the battle that broke out, the weapon that was offered took form and Jason Blood was reborn. John and Zatanna are shocked to find their friend there, learning that he comes bearing his own task and message, knowing at the edge of all reality, something has returned. Merlin meanwhile tells the 13th Knight that the war is indeed over and her part has been played out. He punches his fist through the woman's stomach, killing her instantly and telling her that her role is now over, while his has just begun. He wades into the lake to claim the sword, saying that there is no more use for it, so in his hands he melts Excalibur into nothing but the jewel that was on its pommel, saying that he knows the destiny of this mortal realm and trusts it to no mortal hands any longer. Taking the gem into his amulet around his neck, Merlin says that he will drag this world towards its destiny, kicking and screaming if he must.